Hey, this is Cook of Loved Up Business. Welcome to today's Periscope. Today I'm going to share with you how I keep my home office and my business organized so that I'm productive. It's pretty important if you run a business from home. And for me, I have children who I homeschool or unschool really, to be honest. And my husband, he's also at home. He works part-time from home as well. So being organized is really important. Otherwise, things are going to get real chaotic here real soon. Hey, Teresa, thank you for joining. So, awesome. Thank you for the hearts too. So, I want to share with you my favorite tips for getting organized and staying organized. And to be honest, this is something I've struggled with a ton over the years because I used to be quite prideful of the fact that I was really spontaneous. And I found that really kind of did me no favors if I didn't have a high level of organization. So I'm just going to start off by showing you a little bit of my office space, which is not that big. And we've only been here in this house for a few months. Let me just flip the camera. Okay, double tap. Here we go. So I'm going to start off here by showing you, I have this board. This was in my room. I decided to put it up behind my desk. I live in Australia, so if you're wondering what kind of currency that is, that's what that is there. And I have on my board a couple of things. One is my week in advance. So even though I can have things scheduled on my apps and things on my phone, I find that writing is a really good way to think about things, to get clear, is this what I really want to do next week, and to check in, right, that it's on track with my 3-month plan. So I have that there. Then I also have what my 3 focus areas are for the day. So today it's video content, communicating with my potential clients and community, and lead pages for a confidence webinar that I'm going to do. This, by the way, is just a what's it called? Affirmation. So financial freedom is mine. I love it. I love it. I claim it. I receive it. I act on it. It is here. It is now. Okay. So the reason there's only those few things on my board is because I'm a very visual person, and it needs to be really clear for me to identify what it is that I need to focus on, right? And I need to be able to be drawn back visually quite easily. The same thing, I've got a rather large desk here, and well, I mean, it's got a few things here that I might not use in my business each day, like I've got my scriptures and some books, but sometimes I just want to stop to have a little bit of a refresher, some motivation. And then here, I'm going to show you a few things that I have in here. Okay, so in this tray, I have a folder which it's like my financial folder. It starts off with my financial freedom is mine. I love it. I claim it. I receive it. I act on it. It is here. It is now. I love that affirmation. And then we have this. I've got all sorts of things here which deal with keeping me financially organized. So I've created these charts. Thank you for the hearts. One is about notes. It's like a color in all these squares to show how my savings is growing, and then the other ones to show how my debt's coming down, because we did get into some debt, right? Here I have some pictures of things that I want, that I really, really want. And just to keep me a little bit visual, again, I'm a visual person, visually inspired. I did have them on my board at one stage, but we have lots of people come around from time to time, and I just find that I don't want to explain it, and it's my private folder. So I've got it in my folder here, and I just dropped something. Here I have my 2015 Create Your Shining Year book. Now, by Leonie Dawson. So I really enjoyed going through this book, and I highly recommend it. So, okay. So, she goes through a ton of things to help you release the year before and to get into your creative mode for the upcoming year and to set your goals and plans. So that's where my bigger goals and plans are in here. And I break them down into 3 months, and I then break them down into my weekly plan. In here, this is a book, and this is a book, like you didn't figure that out. In this particular book, I do two things. It's like my vision book in terms of I write and I remind myself of who I am becoming. So when you imagine for you, your financial goal for, let's just say, the next 3 months or the next year, that person who would have achieved that, she's different or he's different from who you are now. In terms of the habits will probably be different. They don't have to be dramatically different, but they will be different, right? And the way that this person thinks will be different in some way, because if it wasn't, if you were already like that, you'd be doing things in that way and you'd be getting those results. So in here, I write down who that person is and what does she behave like. And obviously, whenever you're writing about who you are becoming, you write it in the present tense and all that kind of stuff. But I really get into detail, even down to some of the behaviors that she has. And that's part of what I call just saying, being as if. So it's not pretending, you're just acknowledging, as this woman, I am like this. And it's that constant neuronetworking reminder in your brain and throughout your body that this is who I am committed to becoming on every level. So that's that book. And on the other side, I just flip it upside down and I do my financial tracking, right? So daily financial tracking. Sometimes I get off it. So at the moment, I've got to do a bit of a catch up, and I have some receipts around here, which I need to write into my book. So it's not a budget. It's like an ingoings and outgoings book. It makes me aware of what I'm bringing in and what I'm going out. And money's got to flow through. There's nothing, obviously, spending money is awesome. But it's just a really good way to check in, and what you observe does grow, right? So that is that book. Oh, look at me putting my phone flap around. Just let me turn this back for a sec. Hello, hello, hello. If you're still with me, thank you. Awesome. So I want to show you another book which I have here, and it's just called Cush's Nose, right? Oop. Okay, so I'll just double tap again. My book here really, and this is a book, if you've done that thing where you have lots of scrap pieces of paper or an A4 sheet here, an A4 sheet there, and you lose stuff or you write client notes and all that kind of stuff, it's a big pain in the bum. So I brought this book, right, and it's relatively cheap and you can rip the pages out. And it's just a good way to keep organized. So this is my, that's for another scope, my money memories. So I'm going to use that in another scope soon. But here I just keep notes. And once I've dealt with them, so this one I was going over my topics. See, real rough, ugly writing, right? But I was just going over my topics for my videos, because I do batch. I've started getting back into video marketing again. I was off it for a long, long time. So I was right up in your face then, wasn't I? And so I was going through my topics. But once you're done, just rip it out. But all your stuff, you're not going to lose it. And it's not going to get mixed up, because you know if your notes start collecting, like, why are they in here? Have I not dealt with them? Have I not done something with them? And it gives you the impetus to get up and do something with them. So if you're a paper collector, you'll know what I mean. It's important not to do this, right? Okay, so let me just move that back up. So that's that book. Now I wanted to show you my desktop on my computer, and then I'm going to show you, well, I can't really show you, but I'll talk about some of the things on my phone. So just let me flip this around again. So I'll just close this. That's my website, KrishnaChadwick.com, if you want to check me out there. So I coach holistic entrepreneurs. But I just want to show you how I keep my work organized, right? Because if you have a lot of clutter, if you have a lot of disorganization, your brain has to make 1,000 more decisions than just getting to work. Like, you've got to think, okay, where is this? Do I have, like, where did I leave that? I need to find that document. And it's just you've got to make so many decisions that you wouldn't make if you were organized. So here I just want to show you how I've organized my folders on my desktop. So I have the Loved Up Business VIP program, and special content when I want to add updates or things like that. Initially when I was creating it, all went into this folder. That's just a church thing folder. This is information for my team to communicate with them. And actually, I didn't have a team for a long time, and I've just got someone now again on trial, and I'll have someone else coming on trial in a few weeks as well. So information like procedures and things like that, and anything that needs to go to them or that possibly will go to them in the very near future goes in there. Here I put my topics. So I keep different documents, topics for webinars, topics for my videos, topics for Periscopes, anything. Tracking is a huge deal. So you want to make sure you have that in your business, that you're tracking your results somehow. So I have my different variety of spreadsheets for things that I track in there. Images, that kind of stuff. Whenever I'm working on creating something new, website goes in there. And then there's just a variety of different ones which really don't apply. Facebook, then I've got some content that goes in there for Facebook posts, etc., stuff like that. Budgeting is something, even though it's not for my business, or it says budget, right? It's just all bits of financial information, so old budgets that I've, monthly budgets that I've had. Also looking at projections for spending, stuff like that. So it's all, everything's got a place on here. So I always know where I'm going to find something, and it makes it very easy. Now it took me forever, like years to come up with these kinds of systems, right? And it's not that I spent forever trying to figure it out, but it just didn't come natural to me. It wasn't my strength. And I'm grateful to say it is my strength now. It's so, so, so helpful. Let me show you some other things. So sometimes we only moved here a few months ago, and I have only, we've just kind of, adding to our house and stuff. But when I have a client over, hang on, I'll show you. Okay, so I've just got a couple of seats here in case we want to read and relax in the office space as well. And, there's the extra seats for my clients to sit at, the kids to sit at. This is my salt lamp. Okay, so I was going to talk about my phone. So can you tell me, if you're on here, what kind of phone you have, whether you have an iPhone or an Android? Because I have an iPhone, but I can talk a little bit about Androids if you have one. So if you can let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk about my iPhone and how I keep things organized on there. Okay, so with my iPhone, and this is so important for you to do, is to keep the things that you use daily on your front page. Now, I know that phones are going to come with certain apps and things on the front, but you want to make sure that anything that you're not using daily, and particularly things that don't relate to your business, go on one of the other pages, right? And I know you can put them into the little boxes to keep things organized. I like to have every single app that I should be looking at daily just as it is, not put into little boxes and stuff. It's just like bang, it's there. So I have my Pages app, I have my Slack team app, I have the Facebook Groups app. If you find that you waste time on Facebook, checking in, seeing what your friends are up to, seeing what other entrepreneurs are doing and stuff like that, I recommend you either delete the Facebook app itself or put it on the second page, so not on the front page. And that way you're not wasting time checking in. Give yourself a set amount of time. It's so easy when you work from your phone a lot just to scroll and scroll and scroll. Give yourself some time to go through if you still like to use it. But if you recognize that you're wasting time on it through the day, then make sure you delete it or at least put it right back in your phone. Check in on the Facebook Groups app if you use Facebook Groups as a way to connect and get business. I do. That's a really important way for me to get my clients, is to check in and be helpful in Facebook Groups. So that one's on my front page. Also, I've got my WordPress app on there. I've got my Get Response app on the front. All the things that you use daily. I've got the Time Buddy app for like different time zones when I'm checking in, just to make sure with clients or potential clients that things are right, or even when we're traveling, that we want to make sure that things are lined up and you don't stuff up appointments or miss appointments, right? So whatever it is that you use needs to go on the front. And it seems really simple and basic, but if you can get these few things right, so have a really clean, well-organized space, when it's worth it. I know it can be work to get things sorted out, and you might, like, my space is not, like, it's not going to end up in a magazine anywhere. You know, this office isn't going to, it's like not magazine material, but it's nice. It's very comfortable for me, and everything's got a flow. Like, I know where to find everything, and it all leads me to this space of what am I focusing on today, and, you know, making it easy for it to happen. Like, that's what you want to do, is like, know what your focus is for today. I limit it to three focus areas, but there might be more tasks than that to do in a day. I get easily distracted, like hugely easily distracted. So the more stuff that I take away, the less decisions I need to make about how to do my work, the better it is for me, and it'll probably be the same for you as well. You know, you can probably relate, particularly if you've got children at home, or you know, you're just easily distracted. Like, so make it easy for you to succeed. And it's really important you have a plan for your week in terms of what is it that I want to have happen this week, right? And then you can break it down. So I decide, going back to, so with my day, I decide the day ahead what's going to go on there, okay? And, you know, obviously I'm checking in. You probably can't see, I tick off things once they're on there with my week in advance. And sometimes things might need to be added on, or they might need to be crossed off. That's okay. I don't get stressed out about these kind of decisions, but it's just to keep me online and motivated. Okay? So online, in line. Okay, so I hope that's been helpful for you today. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, I'm going to jump off and create some more videos for my blog. Any questions? Just so you know, too, if you have been asking questions, I'm not ignoring you. I don't see them come through quite often until I watch the replays. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, none are coming through right now, so thank you for checking in. Thank you for listening. If you're watching the replay and you've made it this far, I'd love it if you could share the broadcast, and also if you could leave some hearts if you feel like you got something helpful out of this today. All right, have an awesome day, and I shall speak with you soon. Bye.